So tell me a little bit about your play in wireless and what you're doing here.
Happy to, Rich. So basically what 3M focuses on is fiber and power cable management, which is terminals for FTTA, weatherproofing, and fiber connectivity. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of our weatherproofing solutions as well as our new Tower Dome terminal launch.
Excellent. Now, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I would like to add that this is a product that we launched last year. It's called the Slim Lock Closure. It's a weatherproofing solution that is designed to protect the connection between the antenna and the coax cable. So I will do a quick demo. This is a one-handed operation. Basically, you slide down the outer shell of the closure. Then with one hand, with a single-handed operation, you push the inner shell, having access and re-entry the connector. So this is a very easy to use, fast to use, coaxial weatherproofing system.
Now, is it worth mentioning that these devices are generally many hundreds of feet in the air?
Yeah. Most of the applications are probably 100 feet above the ground level. So it's you need to have a very easy to use solution.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit about some other new things that are happening with the company.
Absolutely, Rich. So we're launching at CTI 2013 our Tower Dome terminals. So we have an example of them right here. Basically, the idea is that we are trying to provide a very low profile, low wind resistance terminal mounted on the tower that provides both the fiber and power management. So in terms of that, what we see here is on the power management side, we have surge protection devices, we have terminal blocks, various power connectivity devices. On the back side, you have the fiber connectivity side. So you might ask, well, why pick a dome? Well, we looked at it, and from a wind loading standpoint, and wind loading is a critical issue on the tower, that the dome is approximately 40% less wind load than the equivalent sized rectangular box. That's why we chose the dome solution. So these tower domes, as we call them, come in many different flavors and sizes. For fiber connectivity, for power connectivity, combined power and fiber, as well as this one that you see here, which supports the so-called hybrid feeder cables.
What else should we know about 3Com in this space?
So basically, 3M has been in communications business for over 50 years. And so we're bringing a legacy, a long established history of connectivity, starting with the invention of the IDC, or insulation displacement connector. That's where you didn't have to strip the copper connector, just push it in and it would terminate itself. So we moved on from that into lots of copper infrastructure and then fiber infrastructure, and we're bringing all that knowledge and experience, how to build the terminals, how to connect them up, how to make them rugged and reliable, but moving it up the tower. Because now with FTTA, or fiber to the antenna, as shown here, you have basically power and fiber going up the tower to very close to the radio unit that's shown there. Then these feed each radio unit with a pair of fibers, a pair of power connectors. Then from the radio to the antenna is a short length of coaxial cable, which is what Omar just demonstrated with the jumper. And so, 3M's established history, our knowledge about how to craft the domes, and then also our superior ability to not only seal but also strain relief connections at the base of the dome is a big highlight of this feature set. So let me just show you here. So as you can see, this is purpose-built for the tower, and in this case we have a lanyard that connects the dome to the base of the dome unit. So this is important because it's a windy situation up on the tower and you don't want to drop anything. As a matter of fact, we've made it a point that there's no loose pieces available in here. But one key differentiator that we have, in addition to the dome footprint, which as I mentioned is considerably less wind load, is that we don't have to do any additional restraint mechanisms below to strain relief the cables coming out. And we accomplish that with something we call the ECAM, and you can see it right here. Basically, the ECAM, or External Cable Assembly Module, is designed to not only provide an IP68, which is basically submergible water or weather seal, but it also provides 100 pounds of pull-out force. So that permits us to have like plug-and-play installations where this could all be pre-wired on the ground, hoisted up together, and then the tower hand comes up, he pre-configures some jumpers with our ECAM assembly, and then he simply snaps it into place, and he's done. No tools, nothing to drop, very simple.
So one quick question that I keep thinking about, I know your company is a conglomerate in general. I mean, you make thousands of products, and maybe the Post-it note is one of the most popular ones, and lots of markers. Do other divisions of the company help with what happens in the telecom space?
Absolutely. We leverage everything we can from the many different materials platforms that 3M is so proficient at. So an example of that would be the gel webbing inside the slim lock closure. That's a proprietary 3M material. It uses material science. We're also leveraging the experiences of our commercial graphics groups in camouflage and concealment. So we actually have wraps that can hide this infrastructure equipment. So you know the kind of wraps that sometimes you see on vehicles where it's like a pizza or something like that, and it's wrapped around a truck, a panel truck or whatever. Those are 3M products. Well, we've discovered through testing that they're also very transmissive to RF. So you can wrap an antenna like this. You could put a pattern on it. Particularly, you could match, say, the bricks on the sides of a building in a downtown deployment and not even see the infrastructure. So in that sense, we're leveraging all of these capabilities of 3M corporate science and bringing it to bear on this market.
It's worth mentioning that carriers and related tower companies spend millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on things like artificial trees to make these towers look more attractive, and many communities won't even allow such towers to be erected in their neighborhoods because they just don't want the eyesore. So, and being in Connecticut, I can tell you that's one of those areas where we don't have enough towers, and so we don't have great cell signal, and so maybe this is a solution for those sorts of rural areas as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think people generally don't want to see the infrastructure, and in addition, in order to service areas where perhaps there's regulations against enacting or erecting new towers, there's technologies such as distributed antenna systems and small cells, which also can backfill these, and they're much lower to the ground, and we have a whole suite of solutions all presented around both camouflaging the infrastructure to get the fiber to the small cell deployment, and also to weatherproof and connect the infrastructure and the equipment itself.
Great, I'll give you the last word. I think you had something to say, right?
Well, yes, I just wanted to show that technology that we are borrowing from different divisions. 3M is also known to be a chemical company, so we're integrating that technology into this gel. This is a web gel made of thermoplastic material, so we're using our chemical knowledge in this industry. Also, we're adding a technology that is called glass bubbles from a different division to make it a fast to re-enter solution. So we're bringing all these different technologies from 3M into the communications market division.
So for the viewers at home, what that gel feels like is almost like the kind of gel that you'd see on a dashboard that would hold your cell phone in place. That if you've ever used such a device, that's kind of what it feels like, but a little bit thicker. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Rich.
Thank you very much.